Hello, what is going on, my fellow V1 simulation fans? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel on this very special day. We are doing a SimWings support stream. Plenty on that, more later. Let's go ahead and just quickly admire the beauty of this airplane here. This livery was done by Connor. He's a SimWings support staffer. From what I understood, Dougal's actually going to post the livery to this as well later on after the stream. But this is the Flight Factor A320 Neo. Look at those engines. Man, they just look so good, don't they? On top of this, we're here in Cancún, Mexico, getting ready to go down to Tegucigalpa. I still don't even know if I'm saying that right. Toncontín, MHTG. What is up, guys? I am Dimitri. Dougal McTavish in the house. Carta Joel. What's up, man? New Guinea campaign. How's it going? Charlie Rondu. Zeke Morrow. What is going on, man? Good to see you here as well. JCP 123. Good afternoon, good sir. Connor Morse, how's it going? There's your livery. Yes, sir. There it is. It looks absolutely fantastic, man. I love it. I love it. Nightbot just joined the channel. That is good. Finally, he's on there. Sony Boy, how's it going, man? Sony Boy in the house. Slam Cannon also in the house. Rose Jackson, good to see you here. Welcome. XP1972. X-Plane 1972 in the house, guys. If you haven't already, check him out. He's a fantastic streamer as well. I just finished up doing a podcast with him and Soul was SOL was the other member there for the Threshold X, and I thought it was a fantastic little podcast. I'm sure there'll be information on that when that gets released. But that was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed doing that. So, welcome to the channel, XP. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this SimWings support stream and what exactly we are doing here today on this fine Sunday afternoon. So, Project SimWings, spearheaded by our fearless leader, Dougal McTavish. I mean, he's really the creator of the idea and everything, and he's got it rolling now. But what the whole premise of this project is to be able to get somebody less privileged than us into flight simulation, whether it be a full system rig or just little pieces of hardware here and there or software, things like that. The ideas are kind of endless. So it's definitely in its infancy right now, but with your guys' help and just being able to bring this project to light, I think it really can take off. And, you know, even if we just help one person out there, it would be worth it in my opinion. So, but I think it can go much further than that. I think there can be a lot more than just one person down the line, especially as the project gets wings and takes off. No pun intended. Okay, I'll try to stop making the weird airplane puns there with SimWings. But I really do believe in this project. I think it's a great idea, and no one better to lead the project than Dougal, because in order to have somebody to lead a project, you need somebody who has motivation and drive. And from what I know about Dougal and what he has overcome in his personal life, I wouldn't want anyone other than Dougal spearheading this operation. So all the proceeds in this stream, guys, will go to SimWings support. I highly encourage you, if you are in the position to donate and get some funds out there, whether it be $1. I mean, it doesn't make a difference how small or how large your donation is. Every little bit helps. I highly suggest that you donate it directly to the SimWings link, which is in the description. Also !donate. It'll be coming through the chat here. That way it goes directly, all of it, to SimWings. If you guys donate to me, like normally on the streams that I do, you have a little support link down there. I'm going to end up giving those funds to SimWings anyway, but then YouTube's going to get a cut of it. So it would be better off if you donated directly to the SimWings page itself. So no matter how small, no matter how large, every little bit will help. So we'll talk a little bit more about that en route. Let's go ahead and get this thing fired up, guys. I have some exciting news for you as well for X-Plane purposes. But before I get to that, let's get the X-Plane. Let's get the external power on here. We'll get the APU on, get the nav light on. This is a completely cold and dark airplane here. Crew supply oxygen come on, ground control so we can record all of our conversation there. I should have turned the batteries on first. 27, that looks good there. Also, our fire tests, we're going to do those. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we'll wait for the APU to fully... We'll wait for the ground power to complete the self-test, and we'll do our fire checks there. But check this size out. So I have to go to, see if I can do this right here. Is it charts.navigraph.com? You guys have been asking for this. Look at this. I finally succumbed to the Navigraph situation and doing the charts on screen instead of just using my own personal charts. So I hope you guys are excited about that. I figured this is really going to help, especially as we go over to Europe and do the Euro tour on the 7K substream, which is probably going to be on the weekend of Saturday, probably on Saturday, guys. That's kind of tentatively scheduled. I know it's a little bit far away, but I've just been so busy right now. It's insane how busy I've been the last couple days, and then I get more busy this week. I go off to work. So 10.9A, there's the one we're looking for. One thing I really do love about this Navigraph is it is Jeppesen charts, which is what I'm used to. I know in my stream sometimes I'll show you the regular charts, the US free charts, but they aren't the same format as Jeppesen, and I'm used to Jeppesen. That's what I use real world. This is the chart subscription program that we use in real life, real operations. So I'm really familiar with reading Jeppesen charts. If you guys have any questions about Jep charts and things like that, obviously this opens up a whole new can of discussions for us here on the V1 channel. We can talk about all the little numbers and all the little things that you may need help understanding what they do. So that's cool. I'm excited about that. Now we can do our fire tester. We're going to fire up the APU, so we're going to go ahead and do our fire test for the APU. That all looks good. We'll go ahead and get it fired up. Listen to it spool up. Funyun, how's it going, man? Any plans for more King Air content? Yes, there is plans in the pipeline for King Air content. I've just been so wiped, guys, with just a bunch of stuff happening. So there's potential. I know y'all have this coronavirus. I'm sure y'all know about it by now, but there's a potential that one of my elderly family members may have it. So there's a lot going on with that because, you know, it's very dangerous to the elderly. So I've just been completely swamped. I'm off to work tomorrow for a couple days, but I'm going to try to upload some content for you while I'm gone, and then we're going to get that 7K stream done as well. So yes, Funyun, it's definitely in the pipeline, my friend. I just need 30 hours in a day. I don't even think I could do it with 30 hours in a day. I think I would need more than that. We should probably get the 8 ears in line here while we're waiting on that. We no longer need ground power.
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
Rand Cooley says, V1, I've just donated to them now. Rand Cooley, thank you so much, man, for your support. Positive rates in chat for Rand. Rand, I really appreciate it, man. Guys, every little bit counts. And I know, you know, we donate a dollar here or there to me, and that's absolutely fantastic. But this stream, I asked that instead of doing it to me, you give it to the SimWings support project, because that is where you know, it's going to be make a big difference. It's going to be a big impact. So thank you, Rand. Fantastic. OT says, hey, V1, are those Neos that you fly in real life 320 Neos or 321 Neos? A little bit of both, man. Mostly 320s right now. 321s are coming, though. Dimitri says, Navigraph is long overdue, Captain. Now all we have to do is get you to endorse and use SimToolKit Pro. Oh, man, it's endless with you guys, man. Endless. I got to have this. I got to have that. I wanted to do the X-Enviro today, but just because this stream is going to be crazy enough, I didn't want to do anything that I wasn't sure how the performance would handle. I want to run some performance tests with my rig before just going into a stream blind with X-Enviro. So I'm going to go ahead and set the cargo there. Passenger, we're going to take a 2/3 load out there, so that looks good. We'll set that. Fuel loading, we are going to be taking 5.5 on the fuel. So going into Toncontín MHTG, man, it's going to be very challenging getting in there. There's high altitude, high density altitude. We need to make sure we have a proper landing weight. So I've already kind of done some calculations ahead of time. I figured if we take 5.5 on the fuel, we'll have more than enough to get down there, and we'll be nice and light for our approach in there. So 5.5, we'll go ahead and set that. We no longer need the fuel truck. We have 5.5 on board. So let's go ahead and get our fuel pumps on now. You never want to pressurize the fuel pumps while they are out there fueling. Seatbelt sign on and auto. We'll arm that. That looks good. So now we're going to load up our flight plan. What controller am I using? I'm using the Thrustmaster Warthog, man. What is the average speed on landing for an Airbus? It depends on weight, depends on what Airbus you're in. I would say anywhere between 125 to 148 knots. It could be that whole range, just depends. All right, initialize. Here we go. MMUN. Oh, I have to show you guys the airport as well. I'm at a new airport here. MHTG. So before we finish that, let's go ahead and take a look at this. It's a little bit shorter flight, so we can spend our time looking around. This is the Payware This is the Payware Cancun, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, nice detail on the trucks there. Everything is looking pretty darn sweet. This is the domestic terminal over here, so there's no customs. This is where you're going to see your Aeromexicos and things like that. XP 1972. What is going on, man? Coming in with a $50 bomb. Going to be headed over to SimWings. He says, let's get this SimWings support train going. XP, absolutely, man. Really appreciate that. Positive rates in chat for XP. Another $50 bomb to SimWings. Awesome stuff, man. So they got nice detail over here on the runway like this. I mean, this is... I'm pretty happy with this airport. This is one I think Dimitri recommended as well. Dimitri has got the add-on situation down. So, absolutely fantastic. I actually came into this airport one time when the terminal caught fire. That was a lot of fun. So, and you can see through the glass. I love it. I love it. All right. XP, you're a damn superstar, my friend. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. X-Plane 1972 is a superstar for sure. All right, we're going SimWings flight. This is going to be SimWings 1, our flight number. We're going cost index of 55 down there. We're going to go at flight level 320. Initialize, align on ref, confirm. Flight plan. All right, let's go ahead and do this properly here. We're going to depart 12 right on the Cozumel 1 Alpha. We're going to insert that. Let me build this a plan here for you guys. I apologize. Project Fly is giving me issues on the overlay, so no overlay for Project Fly yet again, but I think we'll be able to handle it. All right, so so we're going off the Cozumel 1 RNAV departure, which I can bring these up now. I have a hard time navigating. The charts in here. This is much better than the charts.navigraph. I don't even know how to get my charts up on the Navigraph thing over here on this EFB. You guys have to show me how to do that. RNAV 12 right. But this is much more intuitive than the other one here. So you can see we're coming out here, Cozumel 1 Alpha approach. That's going to lead us into... I actually have to look up my route of flight now because I don't remember what it was, so give me a second. So, Cozumel 1 Alpha, CZM Cozumel, then we're going to join the airway. So here we go. We're going to go Airways Upper Bravo 881. We're going to take that all the way to Landa, Landa. We're going to insert that. After Landa, we're going direct to Corti. Not necessarily a real route there, but we're going to probably change that en route anyway. Corti, and then arrival. We're going to do the RNAV 02 from Corti on the Melvo transition. Insert that. Now we can take a look at this. There's our route all the way down, Talik, Melbourne. Now this is where it gets fun. RNAV 02, so we don't have to start at Toncontín. We don't have to do the full 360 since we're coming in from the north. But we're going to have plenty of time to talk about this approach. Here's the infamous RNP toilet bowl approach all the way down, landing on 02. So, I should have been a good streamer and practiced the landings. I have not. I've only landed in the sim on MHTG twice. Once was a long time ago, just for fun, when I didn't have any scenery. The second time was just before the stream started, and for some reason I lost my GPS as I was on the approach. I didn't have failures active or anything. I just went GPS primary lost, so I ended up having to hand fly it, which that was a lot of fun, and I ended up putting it down. I think it was like a 280 or something. So, but hey, I'm not worried about it. We're gonna get in there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So our flight plan is in the box. No discos there. Let me just double check. Yes, that looks good. Secondary initialized. We're doing a quick round robin return here on the secondary. MMUN all the way around. Secondary arrival. If we blow one off 12 right, we're going to come right back around. And we'll put it right back down on 12 right. All we care about is the approach data here. Oh, let's check out the weather right now. So we may have to go to fake weather when we get down to MHTG because I want to actually show you guys some fantastic ortho scenery courtesy of IMDimitri. So it was cloudy earlier. I think it's still cloudy down there right now. It's showing broken at 2800. So yeah, we may have to adjust that on the approach. But let's see. For Cancun, we're looking at 080 at 13. Temperature of 27 with an altimeter of 3022. We got to come back around. We're just going to do a 200 DH. Perfect. RNAV. I'm not going to hard tune anything. We already got Cozumel in there. That looks perfect. And it be wait request. Let's see how it loads out here. Make sure we'll verify. Zero fuel weight of 52.1. That matches 26.9 on the CG. Everything looks good here. Trim up 0.4%. No alternate. 29 minutes extra gas. We don't have a whole lot of gas to mess around. In real life, you'd be dispatched with an alternate here, just for one runway operations. Now, so in international operations, if you're a North American carrier, most often, even if you're going international, you're going to have an alternate anyway. But at SimWings Flight 1, we don't need an alternate. We're just going min extra gas there. Makes it a little bit more interesting. Puts some pressure on. Plus, we'll be lighter now going in there, so we don't have to worry about landing distances. All right, everything else looks good here. I am going to put in MMUN 12 right here in the box as my quick and dirty bearing distance. That leaves us to our perf speeds, 28. We're going to stick with it. We're going to go 28 across the board, flaps 1. Yoga, we have the famous Neo engine sound mod on here today, so that's going to be great. That's up there. And I think that pretty much sets all of that. So let's go down here, put in a fake squawk in the box. A fake squawk in the box. We're going to be 25-22. Turn that on, put that in auto. Perfect. We can start closing up doors here. Passengers, we'll go ahead and remove, close up the cargo. I love that sound. Dimitri says things get hairy in a jiffy down there, so I find it helps a lot if I draw a runway extension in the box. You can do that, Dimitri. The problem is if you're on that RNP approach, depending on the operator, you may be required to maintain on autopilot for that RNP accuracy. Excuse me. So it kind of depends, but you can in the sim for sure draw an extended center line. We're going to try to do it as realistic as possible and just keep that going in there. Now, we'll have to ask you guys in chat if you want to do an accelerated time. So if you fly down there at sunset, the scenery that Dimitri has for me, I don't know if it's default or not, but the scenery that I got in there will light up the lead-in lights. So essentially, when you look at the chart, there's that big circle, but there's lights on the ground. So we can also turn down the lighting so it's almost nighttime. So it's up to you guys, because the way we have it set right now, we're going to be landing in broad daylight, but I have no problem in adjusting the time to make it be a little bit more cinematic, if you will. All right, 310 in the box, 3022 here in the altimeters. We'll go ahead and get the beacon light on. That'll get Haley talking in the background. We'll listen to her announcement here for a second. Funyun, V1, do you usually not enter the THS next to the flap in the box? No, Funyun. On any narrow-body Airbus, you don't need to do that. Some companies may require you to, but it does absolutely nothing other than remind you that where you need to set your trim. Now, for us, and probably any other airline out there, you're gonna have the trim in your checklist probably 3 or 4 times before you take off. So I know for us, we have it in the before. I know we have it after engine start and taxi, and then before takeoff or something like that. So we're always checking the trim, but you don't need to put it in the box. It does nothing for you. Carta says, soon to hear those sounds on the 321. Ooh. Carta, I saw you put those Neo engines on the 321 already, man. You're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. Have I ever seen the YouTube videos of jetting Julia? No, I have not. American Airlines Flight Attendant. No, I have not seen that. Max Rank, welcome to the channel, man. Good evening. Tesla Guy, welcome. Good evening. All right, let's play on our pushback here while she's doing her talk. her little announcement things here. So 1, 2 right. We're gonna. I'm trying to remember Cancun. Do they push you straight back? No, I think they push you back at an angle. I can't remember. Oh well, it's not that important. We'll push back 90.
Ground to cockpit. Can acknowledge. Coming through the menu when you are ready.
Roger that. I guess we can get rid of the auto gate here. So Sam, Cancun, disconnect. There it goes. I like disconnecting the gates before releasing the parking brake. It's much more realistic. Other than the fact that I just drove through the limo down there, we should probably drive away all those as well. Beautiful livery, Connor M. We'll watch the trucks leave here. Fully serviced with SimWings support members. Carta says FT Sim has an early 321 Tolus Neo sound pack already. He already has the Neo. I know we were just messing around with the F mod pack on the CFMs. I did not know the Neo was out already. Oof. Martin Pound. Yes, this is X-Plane 11. Oh, welcome. Davin, where the name of God? It's a fuel truck fueling. I saw that too. I didn't want to say anything, Davin. Yeah, we're definitely pumping gas out on the ramp because he was not connected whatsoever to the airplane there. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, he was connected up over here. And the GPU truck is having an issue as well. It's not even... It's doing some levitating thing over here. But as the vehicles go away, I think we're pretty much ready to go. We'll go ahead and hide all. And we're pretty much ready for engine start. Go ahead and temperatures are looking good. Let's get out of here.
Ground to cockpit. Tau is driving up.
I feel immersed. Already with the Spanish accents. Tor Ellerston coming in with a 100 Norwegian Krones. Tor, appreciate it, man. He says #1 fan. Tor, thank you so much, man. Positive rates in chat. Another donation going to be going directly to the SimWings support after this stream, guys. Really appreciate your support. It's definitely for a good cause. We'll go into some more detail a little bit when we get up in cruise too. But yeah, all proceeds of this stream are going to SimWings. You guys are fantastic, absolutely fantastic community. I think with this community, I really think that this project is going to take off. So let's do a quick check.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
All right, you go ahead and connect down there. I need to pull up the checklist. Normal checklist. Windows, doors, and sides. Oops, nope, sorry, wrong one. Maintenance log and tail number. That's on board and check. Cockpit prep is complete. Gear pins and covers removed. Signs. We should probably turn them on and auto. On and auto. ADIRS. We're navin. Fuel. 5 required. 5.5 on board. Altimeters. 3022 set. 1, 2, and 3 times. EFB is checked. Windows, doors, and slides. They are closed and armed. Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is on for now.
Now connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Brakes off. Clear to push. Tail east. Sorry,
Starting
Rust.
pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, may start engines. Before start checklist is complete. Let's do a tug view shot here. I kind of like looking at the tug view with these Neo motors. Woo! That says they're using the Force to service us today. Yep. Trip beats, why not fly the 321? Just taking a break from it, man. I love this Neo mod. This Neo mod, the sounds bring me into a whole nother dimension with Flight Sim, man. And the Neo sound mod that FT Sim put out is arguably the best in X-Plane. I'll just go ahead and say it. Arguably the best in X-Plane. Speaking of sounds, the new intro music. I was going to unveil it for the 7K substream, but I figured it was appropriate. We're already at that 7K mark. It is absolutely fantastic, courtesy of Jeremy Harvey, who composed that, got it together for the channel. Absolutely fantastic, man. Jeremy, a huge thank you to you for all you do. And if you guys aren't familiar, he also does all the subscriber sounds, donation sounds. Pretty much all the sounds that you hear outside of X-Plane is from Jeremy Harvey, and just absolute fantastic work, man. Really appreciate it.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set, you're clear to disconnect.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, I think it's time to fire up these engines, guys. Wait for our PSI. Beautiful, 38 PSI. Here we go. Starting engine 1. That's the wrong side. Oh. This Neo is equipped with the Carta fan blades. Carta fan blade option. Dougal says I can't fly anything else after getting this Neo mod. Dougal, I'm honestly right there with you, man. And this livery, the gray and yellow, I love it. I love the way the gray and yellow looks.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, thanks for the smooth push. We'll see you, bud. Well, we're going to 2-engine taxi. It's a short one down there, so we're going to go ahead and just fire up engine number 2. PTU kicking off, pressurizing up to 3,000 PSI on the yellow system there. That's why you hear that. Carta says, get the Neo mod on the 321 with the sound. So, Carta, is it the same quality of sound, the Neo on the 321? Because if it is, I'm just going to end up having to do it. Because I love this Neo sound pack. Quiet on startup, but true in real life. But you can hear that they're ready to rumble. You can hear that they are ready to rumble. All right, there was our hand signal over there. I saw it there briefly. So we'll go ahead and go arm U. Flaps to 1. No flex in flight sim. Going full yoga out of here. Rick Jones. Hey, I caught you live, Captain Rick Jones. Welcome, man. Glad you were able to catch me live on the SimWings support stream. That goes to normal, flaps 1. We no longer need the APU. That can come off. Everything else looks good. We'll set our trim, what did I say, up 0.4. Close enough. Looks good to me. All right, after start engine NI set us off. Yellow electric pump is off. Rudder trim 0. After start check is complete. Brakes released. Taxi light on. Are you ready for this? Freaking love it. Milltown, yoga, yoga, yoga. Yes, sir. Sony boy, toga greater than flex. Sony boy, you might have just inspired something for this channel. Toga greater than flex. I might have to put that on a t-shirt, man. I love that. Absolutely love it, man. All right, we do have a problem here. My rudder pedals are cockeyed under the desk here. Give me a second. I have enough problem with these rudder pedals. I don't need to have them cockeyed under there. All right, taxiing out. Beautiful. American 7.3 over there. I was going to do this flight on VATSIM, guys, but my goodness. It's so cumbersome to set up. Holy smokes. So I kind of gave up. All right, auto brakes max. We'll do our checks here. Here we go. Full up, full down, neutral.
Donation.
Full left.
Donation.
Full right, neutral. CJ Hollister coming in with a $15 bomb. He says, "What's good, V1? Let's get it poppin'. Kick us off right, Captain." CJ Hollister, thank you so much, man, for your support donation. That $15 bomb. That'll be going to SimWings support project as well. Positive rates in chat, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for your continued support. CJ Hollister, fantastic to see you here, man. Welcome aboard. All right, so our flight controls checks, auto brakes max, takeoff config, PWS on and auto, TARA, that is on. We're pretty much ready to go. We'll go ahead and hit the fat panel over here. Cabin ready. Beautiful. Now, can I bring up, let me ask you guys this, can I bring up my charts on this EFB browser? This is the charts.navigraph.com here. I know I can have my route, but can I bring up the actual departure procedure over here? I know I can bring it up here in the toggle tablet, but I can't for the life of me figure out the interface of this thing over here. The interface on the charts.navigraph.com, this whole program here reminds me, I get flashbacks of before iPads. I was part of a testing group to get an electronic flight bag that wasn't an iPad, but it was a Microsoft product. It was kind of like a really old Surface, or I think it was a Kindle, if I remember correctly. And the user interface was horrid. I mean, it was, I'm surprised nobody crashed a plane trying to find their charts in it. That's how bad it was. This kind of reminds me of that here, the way things are laid out. This version is much easier. I'm used to this, but definitely help me out in chat if you are familiar with that. Oh man, this is a beautiful airport here. I'm loving the scenery. Simone Tumba, what's going on, man? Just checked, and FT Sim has new Neo sound pack for the 19 to 21. That's what I've been told, man. Everyone's talking about it, so I'll definitely be getting those out. We might have to take the 319 Neo because the 7K substream, guys, is going to be going off. I'm tentatively planning it for Saturday. I could have done it during the week, but I think more people would enjoy it during a Saturday. So it'll be going off on a Saturday. It'll be a 319. The commercial members have voted in the community tab, so we'll be taking a 319. Might have to take a Neo out there as well, but I did hear about it, so I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Slam Cannon, yep. Is Nightbot not on the channel? You should be able to pull up Nightbot. If you do ! Donate as well, that will bring up a direct link to donate to SimWings. And again, I ask you guys, if you are in the position, I understand not everybody's in a position to donate, and that's totally fine. But those of us that are blessed enough to be in a position to donate, even if it be $1, I highly recommend you do it directly to the SimWings donation link. That way they get your full $1 instead of, YouTube takes a cut and etc. So if you just do it directly to the PayPal link for SimWings, it goes straight to them. But either way, the funds will arrive at the SimWings donation, and I really appreciate you guys. CJ Hollister, what are you trying to do with the pad? I was trying to pull up the charts themselves. So, let's see. You press the arrow top of the map, or you can click on the SID stars and click show chart. All right, I'm gonna look at that too. Let's see if I can not crash. Click on the arrow. Huh? Press the arrow drop down at the top of the map. Ah. Okay. I want runway 12 right, but I want departures. I'm gonna end up crashing. But see, then I can't, I want to see this chart. Hold on. Let me go to the end of the runway here so we don't go off into the grass. Uh-oh, listen to those engines. Oh, if you guys haven't heard of Neo takeoff yet with this FT Sim, you guys are in for a treat. Daniel Smith going to Star Cockpit. Have a good one, man. Slam Cannon whips out 5. Oh, man. So back in the day, you guys going through training now that don't have to worry about paper charts, man. You guys are lucky. I remember navigating hard IMC with the frickin' jet paper charts out, and they were so, if you had that really thin sheet of paper, that's what all the charts were made out of. I don't know why. Probably because there were so many of them and they needed to have some space, safe space. But they would tear so easily, and they would always tear or put a hole right on the fix that you needed to learn how to, or need to know how to spell or something like that. So it was absolutely insane, man, that flying around with that stuff. Zeke Morrow coming in with a $10 bomb. What's going on, Zeke? Says, what an amazing cause this is. Let's all help one another. The world can be a scary place, but if we all stick together, we can all get through this. Absolutely. No one is ever alone. Hashtag a great cause. Zeke Morrow, thank you, man, so much for your donation to SimWings. Positive rates in chat, guys. Zeke Morrow, really appreciate it, man, and your continued support here on the V1 channel. Very appreciated. Thank you. All right, Carter. He said at the top of the page, you can see the SID star and your route. If you click the SID and drop down up here. All right, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out here as soon as we stop here, because I feel like this is more real. I mean, it looks better than pulling up the pop-up. All right, brake set, pressure's holding, lights off. All right, so over here at the top of the page, you can see the SID and your route. If you click on SID, a drop down will appear. Here's the drop down. But, and I already have it selected, CZM1 Alpha. And it's already added to the route. And it's already shown on the chart. Oh well. Fake news, Carta. If I click here, change, delete. Yeah, I don't know how to pull it up, man. I don't know how to pull it up. It's pretty dumb. I'm unsubscribing to Navigraph. You guys will never see Navigraph again on my channel. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just use this one here. We'll use the pop-out one. So, Cozumel 1 Alpha, pretty simple. Nothing to really worry about. At or below 5,000 there at UN 408. And then out to Cozumel at or below 11, which is kind of an interesting departure for traffic. So we'll hope she complies with it. We've got 5,000 there, magenta. Are you guys ready to get out of here? The pink box with your slide after your runway. Right under favorites. Right, I click this one. But I want to see the chart. I want to see this chart. Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating. And I know you guys probably are like, just click it. I don't know where it is, man. I need a video tutorial on how to bring up Navigraph charts in the Navigraph chart viewer. Enough of that. Enough of that frustrations. Let's go ahead and hear some yoga sounds. Light it up. Let's roll. Those engines. That black and yellow. Woo. Oh my goodness. Alright. We'll put out our little ND charts out here for you guys. We'll do it the same thing. We'll spool it up 50 from the cockpit. And then we will blast out of here. Nose forward on the stick, spool it up 50. Oh my goodness. Mantoga. Mantoga SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. Listen to that. Neutral by 100. We're way off center line. V1. Rotate. That was really quick. Positive rate, gear up. We're navving. Gosh, that is so fantastic. Golly. Those sounds, man. The only thing he's missing is that thrust reduction sound. Thrust climb, climb, auto thrust. VFE minus 10, flaps 0. Whew. There it is. Speed alt constraint star. Getting ready to level at 5,000 for our first constraint. 4 for 5,000 to go. Gosh, listen to that spooling down. Oof. Ladies and gentlemen, that sound is unbelievable. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn the autopilot on here so we can take a look at these engines. I'm telling you from experience, guys. I don't know if FT Sim got lucky, which I don't think so. I think he actually put in some hard effort. But the sound is almost spot on to the real thing, even from the cockpit. Now, a lot of you guys ask, is it that loud? Can you hear that whine up front? The answer is yes. That high-pitched tone, for some reason, really moves through the cabin, and you can really hear it from up front. And it's one of my favorite things about flying the Neo, because you can get that full-blown passenger experience from sitting right here. The sounds up front in the cockpit. It's fantastic. I love it. Positive rate, that is a positive trend in airspeed. Or I'm sorry, positive trend in vertical speed. So your vertical speed arrow right here, as soon as you see that trending towards the positive scale, you will enunciate positive rate. That's a cue to command gear up, get the gear up, clean up the airplane, and start climbing away from the ground. So we're going to accelerate here after 408. Morton says it sounds very close to the Tolus Neo. If it's close to the Tolus Neo, then we need to definitely have to give that a test. So we'll go ahead and sit right here because it's going to spool up as we leave the Mexican coastline there. Simone Tumba says Chrono. Oh my gosh, you're right. Chrono. Here they come. Ah, it's not going to full open. Must we have another restriction? We do, at 11. So it's not going into full blast-off mode. Tesla guy, when you set up the clock chrono, yeah, typically it's gear up, start the chrono. Here they come. Oh my gosh. I have a hard time, I'm gonna have a hard time flying any other airplane that doesn't have this sound pack. Funyun missed the approach, was doing an approach into Atlanta. No worries, man. You can still hear these Neo motors screaming right now. Philip says, hi from restaurant in Germany. How's it going, Philip? From a restaurant in Germany. Okay, interesting. What's the purpose of the fins on the engines right here? So, there's a lot of different, you'll hear a lot of different answers from a lot of different people. But the best answer I've got for you is right here where the pylon meets the leading edge of the wing. There's a tendency to get a lot of disrupted airflow, especially at higher angles of attack. So these strakes, the nacelle strakes, really help kind of keep the flow of air nice and smooth is not really the right word, but a nice laminar flow to continue over the leading edge of the wing here where you can get all this turbulence. Now, it's also a multi-purpose, and I've heard this too. I don't know, I'm not an Airbus engineer, but I've also heard that should this engine detach, it's going to go down away from the airplane and not cause any damage. So should you have a catastrophic failure or something comes off, these strakes are always going to be pointed down just a little bit, and that will get the engine to go down. I don't know how true that is. That's just something that I've heard. But the best answer really is to really help with the airflow going over the top of the cowling here. Keep a nice laminar flow as it goes past the pylon and leading edge of the wing. But yeah, those nacelle strakes are specific to the Neo, and I believe the IE's got them on the inside only, not the outside. I'd have to look. All right, we're definitely above 10, so let's go ahead and get these lights off here. Let the flight attendants know that we are climbing out.
Yes, sir.
And up we go. We're going to have another climb out here in 4 miles at our below 11. So we got one more to go. And then we should be unrestricted all the way up to 31, or wherever you're set at. Curtis says, while you have a second on the nav chart, try to click on the MMUN. It should take you to the airport, then the SIDSTAR charts. The desktop app is different. Yeah, I know the desktop app. I can get it up on that. Oh, open charts list. Oh. Maybe that'll do it. RMP runway 2. RMP 2. Oh, that's for... It's not the right airport. Let's see, Cancún. Oh, so if I come over here, there we go. 41. Nice. 40 at or above 19. Beautiful. That's the chart we're gonna need. Okay. Now how do I get back to my en route? Oh well. Up we go, 11-8, climbing 31. Here we go. Let's get out of here. Where can I download the FF320 Neo? It's a mod, and Carter has a video out on how to do it. Philip says at least the food is good. Tor Earston coming in with another 100 Norwegian crowns. Thank you, Tor, so much for your support, man. Another positive rate in chat. 100 Norwegian crowns going to Project SimWings. Really appreciate it, Tor. Thank you so much for your support, man. It's got the thank you super sticker on there. Fantastic, man. Really appreciate your support. Been around here for a little while in this community as well, so really appreciate it, man. He says, love your streams, thanks. Thank you, Tor. Once again, man. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, man. Avio Man says, viewer, what is my ETA? Right now, Avio Man, we are showing an ETA of 1948 Zulu. So almost 1 hour exactly, 59 minutes. 59 minutes en route. Carter says the X on the right-hand side of the screen will take you back to your route. Oh, cool. All right. I'm still learning this whole navigraph. There you go. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm not a fan of this. Oh, well. I know you guys are. We are well on our way, man. Those engines are just ripping. Let's do a flyby shot here. Look at the beautiful SimWings paint job. Oh, man. Oh, pretty darn good. Look at that. Absolutely loving the SimWings livery there, the black and yellow, the SimWings on the tail and the engines. Fantastic job. Fantastic. Tesla guy says, V1, I noticed something on the EasyJet Neos. The LEAP engines have a lump on the left side of the engine. Do you happen to know? Ooh, no, I do not. I'm not familiar. I'm not very familiar with the LEAP engines on the EasyJet. You said EasyJet Neo LEAP engines? Yeah, I don't have an answer for you, man. Maybe some type of accessory gearbox or a part of some gearbox, but I don't know, man. That's just me speculating. I'll have to look into that. CJ Hollis just on the Navigraph charts, click the ICAO code in the bubble on the route line on the charts. Okay, I'll check that out too. Martin Pound says, have you got any plans to flying to Heathrow Gatwick? Yes, definitely. We're going to be flying the 7 King substream. We're going to be going into London City first, and then we're going to go out of London City. So we're going to be flying around, and I'm sure we'll hit up Suez major airports there. What made you decide to get Navigraph? Honestly, it was because we're going to be doing European stuff, and instead of trying to dig through my charts and stuff, I figured, I'll just have Navigraph have all accessible to me, and that way I don't have to download charts and then upload them as PDFs so you guys can see them. I just thought it would be easier. Phantom says, are you using a Waterloo? Mine looks like crap over water. Yes, Phantom 320, I am. Courtesy of IMDimitri. He gave me the Waterloo. I think it's in the description as well, but I think it really looks pretty sharp. David G coming in with a $2 bomb. He says, hey, Captain, did you hybrid the Neo sounds with BSS? So I did not, but FTSim did. So yes, if you have the BSS sound pack, and I believe you have to be you have to do a Patreon. If you're a Patreon supporter, you'll get the full compatibility of Neo F-Mod and BSS. So if you have the BSS, he has a way to incorporate the BSS cabin sounds and the Neo engine sounds. So thank you so much, David G. $2 bomb. Excellent. That will be headed over to SimWings support as well. Thank you so much, David G. Positive rates in chat for you as well. Once again, guys, if you are just tuning in to the stream, checking out, wondering what SimWings support is all about, it is I guess you'd say a charity support project that was a great idea from Dougal. He brought it up to me, and I thought that he would, that he had a fantastic idea with it. And he's been the worker. He's just been all in on it. So essentially what's going to happen is all the donations and proceeds from this stream are going to go to SimWings support to kind of help kickstart it off. I think there's going to be a couple other streamers out there that are going to bring light to the project itself, and then be able to get out of its infancy stage and hopefully really be something cool where maybe one of you guys at home watching the streams, you don't have a computer that can run X-Plane, or you don't have any hardware to run X-Plane. There'll be a selection process and things like that, but then it may be something that will get you into flight simulation. And we kind of talk about flight simulation as like, oh, it's a game, we just do it for fun. But I remember it being as a kid playing flight sims, and they weren't near as good as they are now. Geez, the sims that we have now are almost like real life. But back in the day, man, just some of the old, just straight 2D fight sim, thinking, oh, this is cool. And that, I think that continued to drive my passion for aviation. And then it makes, I always wanted to be a pilot, but that just reinforced that. And who knows, maybe I can do it for somebody at home. So that's the big picture goal. I think it's a fantastic idea. ! SimWings support in the description, scrolling through the chat. So really appreciate all you guys here. What's on the tail? That's the SimWings support logo, man. Jessica says, also just curious, are there any plans to pull out the Zebo and fly that around? We might have to fly the Zebo around. I haven't been in the Zebo in so long. But I could probably binge watch some flight deck to sim and try to get caught up to speed and try to fly that sucker around. I have no opposition to flying the Seagull. I think it's a fantastic airplane. Max Rank says, interested to see if your autopilot heading disengages midway over the Atlantic. It seems to be a wind-induced thing, and they glitch, but happens almost every time. Really, Max Rank? So I haven't had that happen yet. We'll see. I should probably pull the standard a long time ago. But we'll take a look at that when we go over to Europe on a 7-hour stream. Alright, so there's a Nico. I mean, this is so much nicer having to doing this in sim and not having to check my reporting points and all that stuff. And flying international is a whole different ballgame, man, especially when you're going over water. This route doesn't look too bad. It looks like we're within about 100 miles or so from shore, so we should be okay. But some of those long over water routes, like I know going Baltimore to islands or going from here all the way back to Philadelphia, you can definitely, you got to do some long-range navigation stuff with HF radios. It can be a pain, so it's kind of nice doing it in the sim. I don't have to worry about that. But we do know we're going to pick up the arrival at Corti, which is at 190 or above, so we're going to just double-check that for descent planning purposes. I know we're a long way out, but I don't think it's in the box there. It's not. So we're going to pull up Corti, altitude constraint, 19,000 in descent mode. Insert that. That way we just have a little bit better idea. There we go. Now we got a new top of descent arrow up there. Perfect. Looks like it's a smooth run. We'll turn the seatbelt signs off. Ladies and gentlemen, you're now free to move about the cabin. Jeremy Harvey says, V1, I almost never think of flight sim as a game. With the right setup, it is absolutely a very valuable training tool. 100% right, Jeremy Harvey. It is a incredible training tool. And I would be ecstatic to have X-Plane 11 or even P3B, as a tool to help me in my training becoming a pilot. So I know a lot of you guys are out there in training right now, but it is definitely more than just a game. I mean, it can be a game. Some guys just want to get in with running engines and mess around. That's fine too. But being able to really break down the procedures and systems is fantastic. Firefighter says, V1, when you change from MDA to DH, can you please explain? Yeah, so you're going to do MDA on almost every single approach that you do. A DH you're going to do for a Cat 2 ILS or a Cat 3. Now, I say that as for simisms. I know in real world there can be a lot of different stipulations on when you're going to actually be using a DH, and we're actually changing the whole language. It's no longer Cat 1 or Cat 3A, Cat 3B, Cat 3C. It's something completely different, but the charts still show the Cat 3B, 3C, and all that stuff. So that's all kind of gone by the wayside. They're introducing a new new phraseology now. But essentially, if you're doing anything other than a Cat 2 or 3, you're going to have an MDA. The DH is your decision height above ground. You're going to have radar altimeter restrictions and things like that. So we'll use a DH for a Cat 3. We'll do it for an auto land, and if we need to, a Cat 2. CJ Hollister says, my sentiment, I want to help as many of those who are truly passionate about aviation, whether it's just sitting or a career journey. CJ Hollister, 100% agree with you as well, man. You're absolutely right. And I understand that there's a lot of people that aren't in a position to help or support or donate, and that's totally fine. I get it. Just being here, hanging out in the chat, having these discussions is good, because it also brings a light and brings the project to the forefront. People start talking about it. But if you are in that position to help SimWings and get it on its feet, get it rolling, even, that's fantastic too. So it sounds like we're just leveling off here. Syntech, what's up? Said, would you be able to make a tutorial on holds and planning for it? Yes, absolutely, Syntech. So I'm really going to try to get out 2 videos for you this week while I'm off to work. One is going to be about the Fix Info page, just how to use a little bit of Fix Info stuff. And then we're also going to do a video on, I think 2 videos on the Fix Info page. One is kind of how to use range rings and things like that, and then the other is how to create a beam points and make altitudes and do stuff out of that. So I thought there was one more I had an idea for too, but it all depends on how much time I've got, which seems like it's never enough time. All right, we're definitely in cruise now. Let's do a flyby view. Ooh, the route command is outdated, Dimitri. Thank you. I guess I can change that right now. Yeah, the route command is definitely outdated. Alright, I've fixed the route command. I didn't put the full route in, but hey, that's all I can do. The 4-knot headwind, Daniel Smith. Weak. Yeah, man, right now the winds are ripping here in the States because that jet stream is down lower. CJ Hollister says, I bought X-Plane 11 for my flight training and it does work 100%. From groundwork, ATC, procedures, understanding a lot of the textbook stuff brings it full circle when you can touch it. Yes, sir. I agree, man. And as a matter of fact, when I was an instructor at our flight school, we even had a simulator set up. I forget which one. Was it FS? I can't remember which flight sim it was. But we had one. Encourage guys to go mess around on that one for free. Just kind of, tool around and practice some of the procedural things in it. And you're absolutely right, man. It works. And simulation in general is something that is mandatory for becoming an airline pilot. I mean, to become type rated on an airplane, you're going to be in the sim. And X-Plane has better graphics than the sims that we use. Now, our sims are tailored exactly to, mimicking the airplane 100%. So there's a lot of power that has to go into that aspect of it. So they don't spend a lot of stuff on graphical. But in the recent years, man, a lot of the new sims do have some pretty fantastic graphics in areas that are loaded. I mean, I think you can select which areas to load up more graphical type things like buildings and things like that. And the airports, of course, are laid out really well. But as far as having ortho, from Philly to LA, it's probably not going to be in the level D sim. Test guy, Cancun to Tegucigalpa is extremely short flight. Yeah, it's not too short. It's about 480 miles direct distance, something like that. CJ Hollister says, with the constant tweaking of X-Plane physics, or with the tweaking of physics in X-Plane and its system functions, it is as real as it gets. Yeah, I think so too, man. And when I watched Austin from X-Plane explain what he's doing in upcoming patches and tweaking the flight model and things like that, I can see his passion in aviation and his passion for math and just the necessary tools that you would need to be a developer for a sim platform. So I see the passion when he speaks in his videos, and I'm sure a lot of guys are going to watch him because he goes into some really fine detail. But I find it fascinating to sit there and watch him explain all this stuff. And sure enough, having that kind of drive behind a product, I think it's going to drive it to compete for years to come. Jeremy Harvey says, on the last 50 feet on final, is it okay to listen to the speed of the audio callouts and use them to judge your flare? Yeah, that's kind of what you do secondhand too. You're kind of listening. You hear that 50-foot call out, and then you hear the 30, and you know that, okay, you're going to start adding back pressure. You're going to start flaring right there at that 30-foot mark. Now, there is times when it's just like 50 foot of the bam, smash. That's always fun. But yeah, if you get the 5 call out, sometimes you don't get the 5 call out depending on how fast you're coming down. But if you get the 5 call out, you know you're gonna butter it on there. Carter says, if the level D sim had ortho and realistic views, you'd never leave the simulator. 100%, man. I would not leave the sim. I would stay in the sim the whole time. That'd be too cool. How long is the dry motor on the Pratt & Whitneys? It depends on how hot, or it depends on the temperature and the ambient air, but anywhere between 30, I think rough guess here, around 35 seconds to, I've seen it up to 90-second motor time. But that's where I've talked about the dual cooling. So if you're sitting there and each motor needs to cool or motor for 90 seconds, Imagine how long it takes to start engines, because you're going to have to wait 90 seconds and then the engine start process works. But up here on the overhead, you have a dual cooling push button that when you press it, what it will do is it will motor both engines. So you sit there on the ground with both bleed valves open and they're motoring both engines for 90 seconds. So then when you go to start, it's relatively quick to fire up. You don't have to sit there in the alley for 7-8 minutes blocking traffic because you're starting up a Neo. So Gavin Corno says, what's up? I'm an active duty Marine, not a pilot. Well, thank you for your service, Gavin. Welcome to the channel. My prior service makes me more competitive at the... Will my prior service make me competitive at the airlines regardless of if I was a military pilot or not? That's a tough one to answer, Gavin. I know some of them specifically ask if you were a fighter pilot. So I can't really give you an affirmative answer on that. Now, if I was in charge of HR, I would say absolutely. I'd hire every military personnel because I think that's, you know, fantastic. And again, thank you for your service. But as far as making you a little bit more competitive, it's hard to say, man. It really is. Told us our flight factor. This is the flight factor. Do I ever perform full flights in the sim, or do you just run different scenarios? Most of the time, SimTac, it's different scenarios. So you're going to take off, you'll have a failure, you do a bunch of stuff, come back, do a bunch of approaches and land. Now, there is something we call the loft, which is line-oriented flight training. That is a full flight, takeoff to touchdown. And during the loft, you're going to get one failure. Could be big, could be small, and you're expected to just work through it. That's pretty much the only time you're going to be doing the full flight in the sim. Man, that flyby looks good. We're going to have to start prepping here pretty soon for Toncontín because I don't want to get behind. Man, that looks good though. There's that weird line out there again. Kevin, no problem, man. Hank Moody says, hi, Captain. I passed the selection for a major airline cadet program. I'm in the 150 out of 3,000. Now I just need to convince them in an interview. Wish me good luck. I'm so close to my dream. Hank Moody, man, that is fantastic. Congratulations. Keep on it, man. Keep grinding. And I'm sure you'll pass that interview, man. I'm sure you'll pass
Donation.
20 has donated a $10 bomb to the channel, which will be going to SimWings support. He says, hold on, my message got blocked here. Sometimes my OBS does that. Apologize. He says, thanks to you, Captain. I did a full flight on VATSIM yesterday. The scariest thing I've ever done. 20. Well, first of all, thank you so much for your support, man. I really appreciate that. That bomb is positive rate in chat. Going to be going to SimWings support. So thank you so much for that. And I am very happy, man, that you were able to do your first VATSIM flight yesterday. I'm glad I can help you out. I hope you continue to do many more VATSIM flights and continue to fly around in X-Plane community, or, I guess it could have been P3D or FSX since it's VATSIM, but again, thank you so much for your support, man. Very happy to hear that you are flying on a network now with, with some of my help. Tesla Guy says, do you think the avionics are a little bit outdated on the 320 considering the MAX has got a brand new Honeywell? No, if anything, the 7.3 is still the most outdated modern jetliner. I mean, you look at that overhead, that's from the freaking 60s, man. So, maybe not that far back, but it's definitely outdated. Now, there's some nice newer functions, like you talk about avionics suites, because that gets updated, but to be honest, both the 7.3 and the Airbus, they're not modern. You look at a cockpit like a 220, or even an Embraer E-Jet series, a 190, 175, they have more advanced cockpits than both the Boeing and the Airbus. Infinite Aviation says, hey, how's it going? Congrats on the crazy growth. Infinite, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Firefighter says, V1, I'm sorry for asking too many questions. You're never asking too many questions on this channel, man. That's what this channel is for. He says, I just want to know before I go to the flight school, you would be a good person to learn from. When do you change from TARA to TA? Can you please explain? So for us, now that's going to depend on equipment and the airport that you're at in real life. But for us, we go into TARA mode when we do the before takeoff checklist. Now, it depends on the type of transponder you have. If you're running a G1000, you have, it's called altitude reporting and altitude reporting off. So as far as sticking to your question of resolution area advisories, which is a TCAS, versus a traffic advisory, that's kind of speaking specifically to airline stuff. For us, our procedure is TARA on the before takeoff checklist. Dimitri coming in with a $20 bomb for the SimWings support. Absolutely fantastic, Dimitri. Thank you so much, man. Definitely for a good cause. He says, not much, but every bit counts. Thank you for taking the time to give back to the community, Captain K. It says a lot about the channel and your personality, or about you personally. Character counts in this online crap these days. Dimitri, thank you, man, so much for those kind words. It's definitely, I know you've been here since the very beginning of V1 simulations, and that is a huge donation that's going to go to SimWings. Very, very proud to be able to give that to them. But thank you so much for your kind words, man. I definitely try to help you guys out as much as I can, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. So, Dimitri, hats off to you, brother. Thank you. Gosh, look at that Flight Factor 320 Neo, though, huh? Man, an Airbus with sharklets and Neo motors. That might be one of the. That's up there with top 5 sexy airplanes. Excellent. Thanks again, Dimitri, for your support, guys. If you are just tuning in, coming in and out of the stream, again, this stream is for SimWings, Project SimWings. The link's in the description to the website. It's also scrolling through the chat. There is a PayPal donation link for SimWings. We're kickstarting the program, kind of trying to get it up, get some exposure to the community, but I think it's for a great cause. Dougal McTavish is the guy who came up with the idea, and he's running the whole thing. And it's if you are in a position to help out, every little bit counts, man. $1, $2, $5, every little bit counts, and it gets us going towards a new era in this community of being able to reach out and help those, get them involved, even though they may not be able to. So I think it's a great cause. Once again, that's what this stream is for. All these donations are going to SimWings. They're not going to me. I do ask that if you are going to donate directly to the PayPal link for SimWings. That way YouTube doesn't take some of it from you. But Dougal says this SimWings livery is now up at xplane.org. Dougal, fantastic, man. This livery is up on the xplane.org store. I think it's a sweet livery, man. I wish it was a real life livery, to be honest with you. All right, a couple more questions, then we got to get ready here. Jeremy Harvey says, in some videos, I've seen some real pilots in the Airbus say retard many times before pulling the thrust to idle. Why would they wait and not do it in the first retard call out? It can depend. You know, maybe they're in a situation where they feel something happening to the airplane that's not being picked up. You know, maybe they know that they just came out of a little bit of a wind shift and they're going to be low on energy going into the round out and the flare. So that could be why they're holding the thrust in there. But most of the time in a stable environment, yeah, once you hit retard, you're going to start pulling those thrust centers back. And nothing happens. I don't know if it's true in the flight factor that told us, but in the real airplane, if you slowly start removing the thrust levers from the climb detent to the retard detent, nothing changes up here because you're still in the auto thrust zone. So you could move the thrust levers halfway back and nothing's going to change. So you might as well just bring it to idle, because at that point the airplane thinks it has enough energy to make a successful round out and smooth touchdown. So it's when you bring them to that idle detent that it disengages the auto thrust. Simtech coming in with a $5 bomb donation. He says, I would love to convince you to do your Airbus Atlantic crossing during the Cross the Pond That's event on April 4, 2020. That would be epic. Syntax, I think the Across the Pond That's event is going westbound, right? So we're going to be going eastbound. I don't think I'll be able to do it westbound. Plus, getting that sim up and running is like, man, I think I'd rather play in an anthill than try to get that thing running. But Syntax, thank you so much for your support, man. Positive rates for you. Another donation, definitely going to SimWings. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Dimitri coming in with the METAR. Thank you, sir. MHTG is 360 at 10. Skies clear, a broken 2800, temperature 2115. Thank you, Dimitri. I'm going to load that in the box right now while we're sitting here talking about it. How are we looking on our TOD? Igu coming in with an $11 Euro donation. He says, really like the idea of SimWings. IGU 77. Thank you, man. I can't take credit for the idea. Dougal McTavish is the one who started the idea and got it rolling. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your support to the channel and for SimWings. Definitely going to be a big help in getting the project on its feet. So thank you, IGU77. Fantastic. Is the fuel burn accurate to the real meal? No, this is just a visual model. All right, let's go ahead and look at approach here. Quoted to Dimitri. Man, I hope you're not messing with me because I'm just going to take your word for it here. 360 at 10. Temperature is 21. That would be funny if you just put in like some totally random numbers in the METAR and post it in chat. That would be something. I might have to do that on somebody else's stream. That would be hilarious. Wind is, what am I looking for? Altimeter 3015. All right, we're going to have to talk about this approach, guys. So let's go ahead and start down. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to slow us down because I need to think about this. We're going to do a 7.7 at 300 knot descent here. And manage. Oops, wrong one. It's already managed. Manage. Really? Okay. Why can't I do a managed descent? Okay, now that is weird. There we go. I had to pull for open first. Great. Nothing like starting off high on the toilet boat approach and Tom. Oh, man. Captain Tom says, have you ever flown this approach before in sim or real world? Also, howdy. How's it going, Captain Tom? Welcome to the channel. Real life, no, I've not flown the approach in real life. In the sim, I did one approach, and it did turn out very well. And I did it, actually I did two approaches. I did one a while ago because I just messed around. Then I did one just before the stream to kind of practice how the Airbus would handle the RNP down there. And I ended up losing my GPS. I don't know if it was a glitch or just a one-time thing. So I ended up having to hand fly and follow the lights in. So in chat, let me know, guys, as we make this approach into Toncontín, I have some nice ortho down there. We can clear out, I'll leave the winds, but we can clear out the clouds so you can see the scenery. And do you want me to lower the time of day to dusk where we can see the approach lights doing that half circle? They do kind of like a half circle thing around the mountains there. So let me know. Or we can do it real time and just leave it. But I think it might be more cinematic if we kind of clear out. I'll just clear out the base layer of clouds, and then, you know, it's up to you guys. You let me know. So let's go ahead and get the right airport in here. I need to first search for MHTG. There it is. Charts. Loading. Approach. RNAV. RNP from the north. 02. Here she is, Tegucigalpa, Honduras, RNP, a 02 approach, man. Here we go. So, minimum at TG 14. Is that our final? Yes, it is. 6760. Our MDA for this approach is 4429. I'm going to set this up early, then I'll get back to the chat here because I don't want to be messing up. We're going to do a config full VAP 129. That looks good. So you're going to see speed restrictions on the ND, and they're max speed restrictions, but they're not depicted on the chart here. But what you need to know is your max initial approach to the final is 250. Max speed on final is 165. So we're going to be well below that. I'm going to configure the airplane early. I know we always talk about, 2,000 feet above touchdown, then manage the speed. No, on this approach, we are going to configure early and make sure we've got everything ready to go as we make that turn. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be hitting Melvo at 9,000 all the way around. So let me go ahead and verify that everything else is in the box here. Plan mode, constraints are on. Flight plan. Melvo at 9,000. Where's Melvo? There it is. Melvo at 9,000. Captain Reynolds joining the channel. Become a private pilot. Captain Reynolds, thank you, man, for joining the channel. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Exclamation point or welcome for a little bit more information on your new perks now that you have as a member of the V1 channel. Thank you so much, man, for your support. Welcome aboard. All right, so TGO 280. So you can see here 250 all the way in. Yeah, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing about 180, and then we're going to configure pretty darn quick, probably before we hit the final to our final approach speed, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to make a sharp turn. It's crazy. Now, I should have been a good streamer and practice it, but that's no fun. I figure it's more fun if I just go ahead and do it with you. I wouldn't say it's not for the first time, because I did attempt to do it one time before the stream, but other than that, that's all the practice I have. So I'm going to try to do it the best I can as an Airbus pilot. I may be screwing up some real-world procedures. I think there may be some stuff required for, JIPWIZ. Like there may be, if you were really doing this in an airline, you may have to do a JIPWIZ inhibit or something like that. But we're gonna just roll with it now. Make sure and hope it works out here. Clear the clouds. I get clear. Please leave the weather. I don't care about clear clouds. MHTG, we do have some ortho scenery down there. Vic Jones says, you must love your job because when you're not flying, then you're here flying sims. Yes, absolutely, man. I love it. I love every bit of it. Transition out to 20,000 feet, so yeah, we have that up. It's going to be 3015. 3015 set 1, 2, and 3 times. We also need to continue to start our descent down to 9,000. Alright, so Melvo at 9,000, we got 9,000 blue, down we go. We can actually arm the approach down there at Melvo, so we're starting down, everything looks good. We're going to do an auto brakes off, we're going to do manual braking, full reverse, just so I can show you guys maximum reverse sounds. Terrain on ND, that's going to be big, we've got that set up here. Let's go ahead and brief this approach here. Toncontín International Airport, runway 02, RNAV, RNP. We got to make sure we are GPS primary, which we are with nav accuracy high. That's in the box there. That looks good. We can also go here, GPS monitor. Everything looks pretty good there. All right, so we're doing a Cat C landing, north flow, RNP 02. Final approach course is 018. Minimum at the final approach fix at TGO 14 is 6776. The RNP, this is actually a DH, so I already screwed that up. But we can only put MDA in the box. That's weird. 4429. So I can only put in MDA on this approach in the flight factor. I don't know if that's real or not. It brings us 1148 above the ground. Alright, so we'll just leave it. I think it's a simism. 4429 is the RMP approach. 0.3 accuracy is required. Touchdown zone elevation is 3,200 feet, guys. That's up there. A lot of different sector altitudes. This is for if you get lost and disoriented on the approach. Basically, we've got to know that the highest sector altitude is 8,600 feet off to the north streets of the airport. So if we become lost and disoriented for some reason, I'm just going to go up to 9,000 and make sure I get clear of all that. Special aircraft and air crew authorization required. That's not me, but thank goodness this is X-plane, so we'll be good to go. High terrain, all quadrants do not exceed distance limits in the holding pattern. We're not going to be holding, hopefully. Procedure is not authorized if temperature is below 14 C or above 25 or above 52 C. DME not authorized. VGSI and descent angle are not coincidence. Pilot controlled lighting. We've got our max speeds. We're already aware of all that. So we're pretty much ready to go. Re-engage LNAV by TG011. So there you go. So you must have your LNAV engaged by TG011. But I may turn it off to hand fly it because I think it's more fun, but we'll see. Alright. Captain Rico coming in with two $20 bombs. Captain Rico. Positive rates in chat, man. Absolutely fantastic, man. Captain Rico, two $20, $40 bomb donation. Gonna be going to SimWings support. Rico, really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for your support here on the channel and being able to get the SimWings support project up and running by getting some support out there for it financially. I really appreciate it, man. It's going to a good cause. Glad to have you here with us in the stream, helping out. Absolutely fantastic, man. Really appreciate it. Carl Childers, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome on board. All right, 16.6. How are we looking here on the VNAV descent? Everything's looking good here. Here's Cordy, and then approach. I want North RNP02. I'll just load that chart up. So, yeah, we have both charts. That's kind of cool. I guess I should just keep this in map mode then. Oh, I don't have the moving airplane mode enabled. That's good. That's cheating anyway. So we'll just do RNAV 0. Oh, wrong one. North RNAV RNP02. There we go. We'll just leave that one up. Do a quick flyby here as we get down into the toilet bowl. Man. Looking good. Alright, Talag, at or above 10,000 feet. And then it's Melvo at 9,000. And then once we get to Melvo, we're going to see if it arms. Now, I'm curious to see, real world, I'll be able to arm this approach out here, even past Melvo. But I've noticed sometimes in the flight factory, you got to be on something inside of an intermediate fix segment for the RNP to arm. So it may not arm until TG015. I'm going to mess around with that. We'll see. I'll try to arm it early, see how it behaves. But back in the day, the older Airbuses, you could not arm an RNAV approach unless you were on a intermediate or inside of an intermediate fix. So you can see here on the chart how this line is thicker than these two lines. So back in the day, you couldn't arm your RNAV until you got here. You would just fly in LNAV mode. So we'll see what the flight factor does. We'll see if it picks up and arms early on. Could you please share a video how to make the Neo sound mod? To make the sound mod, there's already a video, man. Carta has done a tutorial on how to get this thing modded up. As far as the sound goes, you pretty much drag and drop the FT Sim sounds into your airplane folder and overwrite it. Is there any airports that you would do a VOR approach still in the U.S.? Not as a, I mean, I'm sure there are, but as far, I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure there are, man. And definitely, some airports only have an ILS to one runway, and let's say you got to land on the other runway, then you only have as a VOR, so it's definitely possible. Not very common, but it's definitely out there. Now, for light GA aircraft or corporate aircraft, yeah, all the time, man, because they're going into really small airports that a lot of them won't have anything other than a VOR, maybe even a circling approach. Janice says if you click the little clip, the chart gets attached and saved. Really? Add to pinboard. Huh. Still learning. That's cool. Alright, we're 14.7. This is kind of a weird descent path that the airplane is on. I know it's a 3.5 descent rate, or let's see, yeah, 3.5 descent angle. Outer tank fuel transferred. What's our estimated fuel on board on landing? 2.2. We don't have a lot of extra gas, guys. 29 minutes. We don't really have a lot of time for missed approaches. Hopefully we get it on the first shot here. New Guinea, hello again. I'm back from dinner. Are we close to top of descent? New Guinea, yes sir. We are on the descent. You can already see the ortho down there, or not the ortho. You can already see the terrain down there. But I think people want to see the real weather, so we're going to just let it roll. We're open 2800, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty low approach. Hopefully we can get in. But there's mountains all around here. You can kind of see them poking through the clouds right there.
Donation.
Captain Geo coming in with a $10 bomb. He says, I might not have much today, but anything counts. Glad to be part of the best team of streamers on YouTube. You guys rock. Captain Geo, thank you so much, man, for your support. $10 bomb going to the SimWings support. Absolutely fantastic, Geo. Welcome aboard, my friend. Definitely a good group of guys we got working. Absolutely love it, Geo. Thank you, man. Fighter says, if you want to talk about temperature, does temperature affect the altimeter? I heard people say that it affects it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there are instances where like extreme temps can affect altitude, the altimeter a little bit. And that's why, even on this chart, I think it says it, right? It says approach procedure is not authorized below 14 or above 52C. And that just has to do with some barometric effects. I mean, we could really go into detail, but it does. Know that it does. I think in Canada they got a lot of that too. For being extreme cold up in northern Canada, there's some procedures that are restricted. There's a little active sky reload. Alright, so we're almost to Talag. I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to go ahead and select speed. We're going to activate confirm. And I'm going to reduce speed to 250. And that's going to get us a little high, so we're going to pop the spoilers. I am not going to get behind on this approach, so we're going to configure early. Love that. There's our vertical deviation bricks already coming up. That's good. So in theory, we could set 4,500, round up, and arm it and see how she does. Let's see. All right, descent, altitude constraint mode, final app nav. So far, that looks good. We got to pay attention to our speeds here. Max 250 until the final, which is 14, I believe. Yes. So we'll start configuring here as we go past this Talag waypoint. Now, here comes the brick. I wonder if she's going to capture. Talk to me, Flight Factor. Let's see. This is an experiment for me as well. Okay, settle down. Good. I'm pretty sure it's not going to arm until we're well within inside the intermediate fix, but we'll see. Syntech, is it true that some airlines at a procedure to activate approach phase at 10K? Yes. A lot of different Airbus operators do that, man. Here in the States, 10K. Because you can get in trouble. I mean, yes, the airplane will slow down on FMS speeds or managed speeds, but the amount of times that you get a speed restriction and things like that, it doesn't even, a speed change or something from ATC, it doesn't even benefit you. So we'll just select speed manually, activate, confirm, and then roll it on in. Minute on the descent. Alright. Loving that livery though. I can see the mountains. I can see some of them. I love that black, or that gray and yellow. I think this looks so good. Which sound pack do I use? This is the FT-Sim F-Mod Neo sound pack. I think it's one of the best sounding aircraft in X-Wing. This is in combination, in combination with BSS. He has a way to use he uses BSS sounds, and he doesn't use them, he just incorporates his engine sound over the top of the BSS pack. It's very interesting how it's holding a 400 foot per minute descent rate. Oh well. We're plus 15 on the temp, so no need for any engine anti-ice. Let's go ahead and start lighting it up here. We're not going to be talking the tower. Carter says, I'm ready now, V1. Popcorn is out. We just need that dusk light and ortho juice neo sounding buttery land. We're going to try, man. Definitely no promises on getting a butter today. We'll see. I'll be happy if we put her down in the touchdown zone without crashing. It's a pretty low turn, man. It is. You are down there. And with our winds coming out of the north, it really pushes you. So coming out of this turn here, we're going to have a very significant crosswind from the left. Well, that's going to make it pretty challenging. Because not only is it challenging to maintain your course, but as you make that turn, you're going to be blowing into terrain. So definitely got to stay on top of it. MHTG 360 at 12 now. 3012. Excellent update. Thank you, sir. We'll update that. 3012. Thank you, Syntech. MHTG is only 6,600 feet. That's actually pretty long. The problem is its density altitude is significantly higher since it sits up at 3,000 plus elevation. Tell you what, I would not want to be doing this approach to minimums in real life. That's this is pretty interesting here. I guess you really don't have a choice though if they're landing north. I don't think there's any other. Pretty much that's your only choice is the RNP. Are we going to be able to see the runway? It's only going to take us 11:48, and they're reporting 2,800 overcast or 2,800 broken. We should be able to see it, but not for a while. Not for a while. Dougal says, V1, if you get the chance, please thank all the guys that donate directly to the SimWings PayPal account. That doesn't show up here. Dougal, absolutely, man. For all you guys that are donating directly to the SimWings PayPal link, thank you. Sincerely, guys. Really appreciate it. That's just a fantastic contribution to a project in this community that I think is well needed, and it's just, I mean, it's very humbling to watch you guys come together and be able to support a project like this. So thank you again to everybody who has donated directly to the SimWings website. Very much appreciated from myself and obviously Dougal and everybody involved in the SimWings project. Tesla guys, it's just sort of a high-tech, a little bit, kind of the same, a little bit of the same thing there. Chris, coming in with a $10 bomb. Thank you so much, Chris. Definitely going to the SimWings support. He says, don't have much to say except that I truly enjoy your videos. Keep up the good work. Chris, thank you so much, man. Positive raise for you as well. Another $10 bomb going to SimWings support. Chris, fantastic, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the content, enjoying the videos, being able to help support a community project here. I think it's fantastic, man. This is why I do this stream and stuff, because of you guys. You guys drive me to continue to create content. Melvo, at or above a 9,000. I think we're on the box now. Yep, there's Melvo. Oh, I do have georeferencing. That's cool. All right, there's VFE minus 10. Let's go ahead and not waste any time. Let's get the airplane beginning to configure. Syntax says, I'll trust my life in your hands any day of the week and in Sim. Syntax, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I hope I don't let you down here. I haven't crashed on stream yet. I don't really trust this box here. I'm going to continue the out constraint star. Back to descent mode. I'm going to slow down to 180 to get those flaps 2 out. VFE next, minus 10. Flaps 2. Rick Jones, do you have regulation gray highlights in your hair? Oh man, not. I'm sure there's a couple of them in there, man, for sure. Alright, we're 180 knots, flaps 2. Max is 250 at TGO 17, so we're still looking good. I want to be configured by 14. So you know what, I'm going to continue slowing us down. I know there's a 165 knot restriction in there as well. So we have not got an app nav yet. That's kind of what I anticipated. We'll see if it picks up at TGO 15. If we don't pick up app nav by then, we're going to be in some problem. Kaon says, I'm new, I don't know what's going on. Kaon, welcome aboard, man. Right now, what's going on is we're in an Airbus A320. We're doing a very challenging approach into Tegucigalpa, Honduras, and we're showcasing the SimWings support community project, getting kicked off today, basically helping the less fortunate be able to get into flight simulation, whether it be a small donation or a large donation. They're all appreciated. So that's kind of what's going on here. We're on the final approach though now, just about coming into Tegucigalpa. But nobody wanted to see the scenery, so we'll go ahead and leave the clouds up there. You guys like to see all the clouds, so white clouds is fine by me. Theophilus, he says, I want to donate, but I don't know how. I would recommend going directly to that link that Dougal's posting, because your donation there will go, every bit of it will go directly to the SimWings startup. Okay, so now we're high here. I knew this something was going to get a little whacked out. When you donate on stream, it's definitely, I'm going to send it over to SimWings as well, but YouTube takes a cut of it. So it's just a little bit better if you go directly to the PayPal link, just because all of your donation will be accounted for. It doesn't have to be split out to YouTube. So I'm wondering here why we're not getting an app nav. It says we're 400 feet high. I'm gonna go flaps 3 out of order here. Alt constraint star. Alright, so it should capture a TGO 15 if this is modeled after like an old school Airbus. Let's see what it does here. Force it down. There we go. Final lap. So I had to force it down. Yeah, so that's not necessarily accurate. That's kind of a bug on Flight Vector's part. We're going to go ahead and continue to fully configure, though. Let's go ahead and go gear down. Yes, leave the clouds. I like the challenge. All right. We're going to leave them. Gears coming down. VFNX -10, flaps full. Here we come, approaching the final approach fix, TGO 14. We're going to have to do the landing checklist manually because we're well above the threshold for it to pop up here in the box. So we're going to manually do the landing checklist. Cabin crew advised. So that reminds me, flight attendant panel, cabin ready. Cabin crew advised. Auto thrust, speed. Auto brakes, armed. ECAM memo. Landing gear, down 3 green. Signs, on and auto. Oops, they are now. On and auto. That's why we do landing checklist. Ground spoilers are armed. Flaps are config full. Config full. A landing checklist is complete.
2,500.
And you can hear it ripping out. Yeah, the McD said we were 1,000 feet high. We're on profile. I know it's a little bit funky for sure. There we go. Now we're breaking out. Entering the toilet bowl now. That is cool. And we're back in. I do have my track IR for this. I will be using my track IR for this approach. Set up here so you can see this. Alright. I know. Hold on. Oops. Alright, we're going to leave the real weather, but what I am going to do is accelerate the time a little bit because I think it's just a little bit cooler. GPS primary loss. So it did it every time I'm on this approach. No worries. Give me the bird. So we're going to hand fly the approach into Tegucigalpa because I just lost everything. Alright, flight director's off. Auto thrust can remain on. We're hand flying. You can see the approach lights there. I don't know why that happens on this approach. You would not be able to continue a GPS approach with GPS primary loss like this. We'd be going around probably. Actually, in this scenario, I'd be hard pressed to just say I have control and hand fly because we are visual now with the runway. So looks like our GPS is coming back a little bit. All I know is we want to be about 4,100 feet at TGO 11 as we make that left turn. Coming across there. So here we go.
1,000.
Stable. I'll set a missed approach altitude.
100 above.
11,000 is fine. There's the runway off there. We're a little bit high.
Minimum.
We gotta get down. Correcting on that descent rate. Went into the amber there. Like to be right about 4,100 feet as you make this turn. There's 4,100. Correcting on the descent rate.
500. 400.
Looks like my GPS is slowly coming back there on the ND, but
300.
not even going to worry about it. We're going to follow the approach
200.
lights in. Wind is blowing out of the north there, trying to push us right of course.
200.
Think rate.
Correcting.
Think rate.
Correcting. Plus, it always looks cooler on replay if you're a little bit low.
200.
Rolling out
100.
tad low there.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 5,
Spoilers, we'll take that for Tegucigalpa. Reverse green. $70 knots. Looks like we're going to the end. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Honduras. Uncomfortable 292. Still 6 feet off center line there. Came in low over the threshold a tad, but I think that's going to be a pretty sweet replay. Always like to be just a tad low. Just kind of like going to St. Martin. Everybody crosses that fence low for cinematic effect. But that was interesting. I don't know why I always lose my LNAV GPS primary there as we come down the approach, but we hand flew it in, no problem. Syntac, you're safe with me. Let's go ahead and clean it up. Get the APU fired up. Woof.
Locked them at the gate and turned on the seatbelt sign. Be careful when opening overhead bins as items do transition during flight. Checked baggage will be available at the carousel. We'll have that carousel number for you once the front boarding door is opened. If you have a receipt that says claim at gate.
Sweet landing, Tesla. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Should have started the chrono for our cooldown here as well.
Any assistance getting off of the aircraft?
I love this scenery, though. Dimitri's the man. Can we breathe yet, Dougal? Yes, we can breathe, man. We can breathe. Make sure and disable real view slam cannon. Yes. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's do that right now. Real view confirmed. Disabled. Now we shouldn't have any crashes. Look at the old airplanes there. Freaking sweet. Not gonna be on the center line here, but old hangar there, some old cargo birds. Love it. Captain Reynolds says, done like the pro you are. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm not sure how pro that whole procedure was, but I think we would have lived in real life for sure. So, in the touchdown zone, and you can see we rolled it to the end. So, I mean, I probably could have got on the brakes harder, but you don't want to be long. And it's not necessarily that the runway is that short. It's 6,600 feet, but you have that long displaced threshold. So your useful landing is reduced, and then of course it's the density altitude, right? We're up at 4,000 feet almost. What's our touchdown? A touchdown 3,300 feet. So the density altitude is significantly higher, which can definitely impact your performance there. We'll go ahead and take this one here. We'll kill the taxi light. Philip says, love your sitting. Captain, really awesome. Watch all the time. Philip, thank you so much, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Glad to have you on board. From Australia. Love it. Look at this marshaller, man. This is a new, new character down here. I haven't seen him before. That's cool. Oh, look how nice and slow it's working. That is a very realistic animation. Where's the X? No X? I think that's supposed to be an X. It's giving me a chalk signal. Oh, there it is. Okay. There's the X. Looks like it was giving me a chalk signal there. All right, park and brake is set. APU is available. Engine 2. Seatbelt sign. Engine number 1. Listen to that PTU. Oh, that is freaking awesome. Fuel Phyllis, best pilot ever. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I don't know about that, but appreciate the comment. Nevada says when you accelerate time, you lose GPS because the flight factor simulates satellite position. Wow. Nevada rocks. Thank you so much, man. That makes sense now. All right, so that would make sense on why I lost GPS both times when I time accelerated on the approach. Fantastic, Nevada rocks. Well, I think it made it more interesting anyway. Who wants to do the RNP all the way down and actually have to do it from the RNAV? I mean, it's better to do it hand fly it. The driver 83 coming in with a €5. He says that approach made my heart beat faster. Really amazing. Well done, driver. Thank you so much, man. Another donation going directly to SimWings. Fantastic, dude. Thank you so much for your support, man. All right, replay mode it is. If I never wanted a stream to crash, it would be this one. We're just going to play it. We're just going to play it and enjoy it because I don't want to mess around with it. We'll watch it from the engine view. Which one? We'll do, I think this is when it gets darker. I don't know which engine view. We'll do left side, left side, left side. That's the Sam Marshaller V1. Excellent card. I like that Sam Marshaller. That's pretty sweet. I didn't realize he gave me that weird kind of like chalk signal type thing when he did the 2 horizontal bars there. Dougal says show some love on that like button, fellas. Thank you. Really appreciate it, Dougal. Definitely, guys, hit that like button if you haven't. Remember, this stream is for SimWings support. If you are just tuning in, checking out the landing, really appreciate you being here. Consider donating to the SimWings project. Every donation on this channel is going to that project at the conclusion of the stream. So highly suggest you donate directly to the PayPal link. That way they get all of your donation and YouTube doesn't get any of it. But either way, it works. Thank you guys for your support here. Humbuckle, is it possible to get the sound back for the tollless Airbuses? I think there is. I think it's in the future. I'd have to speak with Carta. Humberto, get out of here, man. Have a good one. Oh, this is cool. Let's do a flyby view. No, we'll stay inside. We'll stay inside. Oh, man. Look at the terrain around here. The freaking Ortho Dimitri is on fire, man. This is juicy. This is just straight juice right here. Imagine hauling a 7.6 into their Tesla guy. I know it, man. I know it. That would be nuts. What exactly is a chalk signal? Basically saying that I can release the brakes. They put little wheel chocks in. I think the outside view is going to be absolutely juicy. Because you can't really tell how low you are coming across there from the wing view here. But listen to that engine. Carter says he already has an early version of the Neo for the tollless 321. So there's your answer. Listen to these reverse sounds here on touchdown. Back it up a little bit. Imagine living under this path. I know, Dougal. Alright, we'll do a couple outside here as we fly this in. There's the approach lights. Oh, man. Coca-Cola. Let's see this touchdown here. Oh, yeah. I mean, that density altitude. So you could tell I was flaring. So another thing that you got to take into account, which I kind of totally forgot, is at a high-density altitude airport like this, when you really want to start your flare even earlier because the air is less dense, right? You have a high-density altitude. So that will come into play when you talk about high-density airports, high-density altitude airports, and a flare technique. Definitely something to consider. Oh. Let's back it up a little bit more. I can't get enough of these. I might have to go over there to that mountain. That is nice. That was so cool. I'm so glad we did this approach in here. So here's that long displaced threshold I was talking about. That takes away from your useful landing. There is the runway threshold. 500-foot markers. 1,000 foot. 1,500 foot. Right on it. There's 2,000. And 2,500 and so forth. All right, let's back it up a little bit. Let's go to the airplane itself. Here I want to pause it, and then I'm going to detach myself. We're going to hang out right here and watch. That sound, though. Man. That was fun. Guys? I think this is, I've been watching your stream for a long time, and this is one of the best ones. Theo, I appreciate it, man. Guys hanging out here in the channel, you know what that song is. It's just about that time. Everyone tuning into the stream tonight, remember, this stream was for SimWings. All the donations and proceeds here is going to go directly to the SimWings project. I highly suggest that if you're in a position that you can support streams and things like that, don't donate to me today. Donate to the SimWings project. PayPal link is in the description. This was a lot of fun, guys. We might have to revisit this airport. Thank you, Dimitri, for getting the scenery out here. Scenery recommendations. The Ortho. Dougal for putting this thing together. I believe Avioman has taken this airplane up on his stream next. Going to be returning from MHTG to Cancun. Oh, freaking awesome. But I had a heck of a lot of fun doing this approach. I know now why that the airplane lost its GPS accuracy there. But look at that. See, I'm flaring, but she just keeps coming down because of that density altitude. That's pretty cool. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me on this lovely Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be off to work now for a few days. So I won't be seeing you guys here at least until the weekend. And it might be the 7-hour stream come Saturday. So I appreciate you guys all again. You rock. Thanks for making the V1 channel what it is, and I'll catch y'all all next time. See ya.